The Boston Celtics may have a problem on their hands. Now, what I mean by this is obviously no, they're not in a performance problem as of right now because they are one of the best teams in the NBA, but their problem comes from maybe a potential major chemistry issue coming down the pipeline, and that is going to be revolving around the whole Jalen Brown and like his quote about his future with them. And if you don't know, Jalen Brown was asked about what his future with the Boston Celtics might look like, and his answer to that was, well, not inspiring, I guess you could say if you were a Boston fan, as he said, "I don't know, as long as I am needed, that is where I will be. We'll see how we feel about me over time and how I feel about them. Hopefully, whatever it is, it makes sense. I will stay where I'm needed and treat it correctly." Meaning, although he didn't outright say anything like towards the organization negatively, I would say that that is not an inspiring quote if I was a fan of the team, because I would probably hope Jalen Brown, and while being in the middle of one of the best seasons the Celtics have had in a very long time now, and being legitimately one of the favorites to make and win the NBA Finals this year, you would hope to hear Jalen Brown say, "I would love to keep playing with this team. I want to stay here. This is my home." But that is far from what he said. And when you put on top of the fact that Jalen Brown has had multiple run-in with fans in Boston and said he doesn't think that all of them are that great, you kind of could get a little concerned for the future. Now, he does have another year left under his contract after this season, so it's not like he can just up and walk, but that 1 year on his contract doesn't give them the most leverage, because if he does end up demanding a trade and they can't find an extension, or he doesn't re-sign in free agency, that could be a huge problem for the Celtics. And especially because if this does cause any major chemistry issues, we're only a few games away from the playoffs at this point, and that could be a major issue going into the playoffs when everybody isn't on the same page, or some people are more upset with each other than they usually are. That could be a ginormous problem, and it could be a potential distraction for them going into the playoffs. And as we know, you have to be 100% focused when it comes to NBA basketball, or anyone can beat anyone on any given night, and no telling what can happen from there. And the reason I think this is pretty concerning is because it's not like it's a money issue. So it's not like he means they're not treating him correctly from a financial standpoint, which is usually the case, because he is making $30 million a year, which is extremely close to what Jason Tatum is making. So there's no way he feels like they're financially taking advantage of him in any way. And I just feel like maybe he doesn't either like the fans, he doesn't like the atmosphere, maybe he doesn't get along with some of the coaching staff or someone right there, or maybe a combination of all those things, because it doesn't make sense to why he would say something like that so close to the playoffs, having such a good year with them, and for him to say, "I'm going to go where I'm treated and we'll just see how it goes and kind of how it pans out," is pretty concerning for how much success they've had on the court. And it makes you wonder if there's anything going on off the court, and maybe if he's shining a little bit of light on that situation, which is never a good thing when you're this close to the playoffs and you have to be 100% focused and bring your A game every single night. And then even some future problems that it could end up leading to is that, if Boston and Jalen Brown, the worst case scenario, they can't come to an extension, they can't come to agreements on a new deal in free agency, and he demands a trade or something, the Boston Celtics are going to have very little leverage, because everybody is going to know Jalen Brown wants out, and everybody's going to know he only has 1 year left on his deal, meaning you're not going to get anywhere near the equal compensation you should get for a player the caliber of Jalen Brown. There's a legit argument that he is the best shooting guard in the NBA right now, and you most likely aren't going to get anything close to the compensation you should for the best shooting guard, because of how little leverage these Celtics are going to have if that situation does keep evolving and doesn't get nipped in the butt right now. So maybe I could be overlooking that, but to me, for him to give that quote this close to the playoffs while they're having this much success on the court is a fairly concerning thing, and I would at least be a little concerned for the future of Jalen Brown with my team if I was a Celtics fan. But I am curious to what you guys think. Do you think this is I'm making it a bigger deal than it is? Do you think he could potentially be leaving them in a few years? I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like the point, hit the like button, subscribe button, mean the absolute world to me, and I hope you have a blessed day, because I have a blessed day, so you need to have a blessed day. All glory to God. See you in the next video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah, blah.